How would you like to have a passive income during retirement, your golden years, when you should be spending time with your family, when you should be spending time with your loved ones, not going to a job because you don't have enough money to live off of? A second job, a first job, whatever it might be, a side hustle. You don't do that in your golden years. You want to enjoy your time. And how do you do that? You get passive income. You get money working for you so that you don't have to work so hard for it. My name is Devin Burr. In this video today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that by showing you my numbers, by showing you when I'm 60 years old, how I will have $2.5 million in passive income. And that way you can mimic it and go build your own passive income. If you get value from these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified when I put out all these videos, and make sure to comment and like. I will get back to all of your comments. Let's jump into it so I can show you how this is done. Before we get into it, there's something fundamental you have to know about money. Money has to move in order to grow. It's got to be in motion. So that's one thing you have to understand. Another thing you have to understand is what wealthy people do with money. Wealthy people buy assets, they let those assets appreciate in value, and when they appreciate in value, they borrow against them. Why do they do that? And it's because borrowing is not taxable. Loans are not taxable. So if you borrow against your own assets, you're not being taxed. So Uncle Sam doesn't get his greedy little hands on your money. You're actually able to use that borrowed money to go make more. Okay? Very important. So those two things are very important. And that's all I'm going to show you guys in this video today is how I buy assets that appreciate in value, and I can use that money tax-free in my retirement age. And then also that I'm moving money. I'm keeping money in motion in order for it to grow. That's the beautiful thing about what I'm going to show you guys. Any of you can do it. It's not difficult. I graduated high school with a D average, and I was cheating off tests. So obviously I was cheating off the wrong tests. But the point is, if I can do it, anyone can do it. This is not a difficult concept. It's just simply buying assets, letting them appreciate in value, and then using that money to go make more. So keeping it moving. And then in retirement age, borrowing from that as passive retirement income. Like I said, when you get value, make sure to subscribe, share the video with others, of course, so more people can learn these ninja moves, and like, comment, all the things. Algorithm loves it, and I would truly appreciate it. The first asset that I always purchase is high cash value whole life insurance. That's what you're looking at here. This is one of my policies. I've got 15 of these. I can actually put in, as you can see, for the first 10 years, up to $125,000. I can put that in and not be taxed on any of the growth as long as I don't go over that number. Now, after that, I can put in up to $50,000. I can't put in more than that without it becoming taxable. This is an IRS law. It's called the MEC 7 pay rule. So the reason I do this with whole life insurance is because this money here cannot be touched by lawsuits or judgments. It's 100% protected. It's a private contract between me and the insurance company. Now, also, all the growth is tax-free, and I can borrow against this money immediately within the first 30 days. So I put in 125 the first year. I can use up to $116,000, as you can see here. Now, what I'm doing is I'm essentially just borrowing from my future death benefit. So I'm getting a loan to basically get an advance of the death benefit, use it while I'm alive. That's what this cash value is. It's equity in the death benefit, and what's used as collateral is the money that I put in. So that's my first policy. Let me show you what it looks like when I'm 60 years old. So here you go. As you can see here, when I'm 60 years old, again, I can put in $50,000. And if we look at the cash value, it goes from this number, 3,436,710, to 3,684,427. That's how much growth the policy has, because again, I've been putting in all these premiums every single year. So all this growth, this is tax-free growth. What I do is I take a portion of it to pay this next year's premium. So I'm going to use a portion of the growth, 50,000 bucks, to pay this premium. And that way I keep getting more growth because I'm adding more money to the policy. Now, once I take the growth, and you guys can do these numbers, the growth between when I'm 60 and when I turn 61, minus the 50,000 that I put in for the next year's premium is $197,717. That is tax-free income. However, I also have this $3.4 million prior to using the growth. So I can actually use this as a passive income source. What I do a lot of is private lending. So I could lend this privately at 15%. That's what I do now. All right, so this is my second policy. This one is on my wife. I'm the owner of it. We can put in up to 150,000 on this policy, and that's for the first 10 years. After that, we can only put in up to 60 without being taxed. So all of this growth again can be used with the cash value immediately. It's protected against lawsuits and judgments, and it grows tax-free. So if we go down and see, when I am 60, my wife would be 52. So let's look at the cash value growth in this policy. You've got the cash value growth numbers right here. So you can see it goes from almost $5 million to almost $5.3 million. I'm going to take a portion of the growth, same as the last policy, to pay the next year's premium. The difference between the growth and what I paid to the premium, I have $254,052 in tax-free income from this policy. You guys get the point. What I do is I take all my policies, I've got 15 of them. I take the cash value and I deploy it to make me more money. Whether that's private lending, whether that's owning properties myself, whether that's buying into companies, I use the cash value to do that, to make me more. Now, all of the money I'm putting into the policies in premium dollars are protected against lawsuits, judgments. Nobody can touch that money. It's guaranteed to grow tax free. So that means I am guaranteed to have more money to borrow the next year and make more money with it, because the more money you have, the more money you can make. At my retirement age, I'm using that growth, that tax-free growth, to pay the next year's premium so that I get more growth the next year. My income expands every single year because of the beauty of uninterrupted compound interest. And I actually have the cash value at that point. So, guys, I did all the math for you. I'm going to give you all the figures. Here's exactly what it comes out to. With all of my policies, all 15 of them, using the cash value like I explained, I will have $625,696 of tax-free retirement income that's passive from the policies. I'll also have that year $12,486,288 in cash value. I take that cash value. If I lent it at 15%, which is what I do now, I would make $1,872,943 in passive income by lending it. The money's just working for me. It's making me 15% around the clock. That comes out to a total income when I'm 60 years old of $2,498,639. Incredible. And it just keeps going up. When I am 70 years old, get these numbers, guys. This is the power of uninterrupted compounding. I will have, just from the growth in the policies, $1,064,994 in tax-free passive income from the policies. It went from 600 to almost 1.1 in just 10 years. That is the power of compound interest. Now, I will have in cash value at that point that I can deploy $22,354,390. At 15%, that would make me $3,353,158 for a grand total of $4,418,152 in passive income at 70. As you can see, it just will keep going up. Guys, when I'm 80, I didn't even do the numbers. It's going to be crazy. Bottom line is, it's just borrowing from an asset having that money go make you more, using the appreciation of it to borrow, which is tax-free, and at retirement age, borrowing from that asset as tax-free income, but using the cash value as well to keep the money moving. It's a beautiful thing. I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this video. And if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with all your friends. This can work for you. Maybe not these numbers, but maybe you don't need those kind of numbers. So guys, subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment, like, do all the things that the algorithm loves. I would appreciate it. I mean, I even wore this hat. Maybe this is something the algorithm loves. Who knows? Appreciate you guys. Until next time, love y'all.